2025 safety nets. This is our 18th Ensure Justice. The first time I got to put together a conference to protect, to defend, to prevent human trafficking of children was in 2007. And a couple months ago, I did the math, that's 18. I can't believe it. I was still in college, actually. No, honestly, I was doing my PhD. So, my job right now is to welcome you. I want you to turn to somebody and say, I'm so glad you're here. Love it. Okay, housekeeping. The restrooms are to my left, your right, and they're beautiful. In doing venue tours this last year for our next Amplify event, I found out checking out the restrooms is a key part of venue approval. Ours are stellar, so make sure you check them out. Let's start today with gratitude. I am thankful for you. I am thankful for the sunshine. Are you happy about the sunshine? I'm happy. I'm thankful for Senior Coordinator Meredith Reuter, who led a team to make today seamless. Please, everybody. Meredith, stand up. Stand up. Stand up. There she is. Yay. I'm thankful for our virtual host, Jamie McIntosh. Where are you, Jamie? Yay, standing up when I say your name. Yeah, there you go. Everybody that's on virtual is on Sketch. How many of you have downloaded the Sketch app so you know where to go when? Oh, you need to be doing that while I'm talking to you. That's how you set up your schedule. It's how you tell us what we did great on and where we could improve next year. And Andre, I am so glad to see you here. I'm just looking around and I see people from my friends from Nevada. My students, Ruthie is the professor. Ruthie, where are you? Stand up. I'm going to work on training everyone to stand up. There we go. It is so good to be here, and I'd like you to turn to one person and say one thing you are thankful for. Dennis, you get to talk to Rabbi Diana. All right, that is wonderful. We are in a frame of gratitude. My one thing, because I didn't have anybody up here, is my husband is my chief volunteer every year. Where are you, Gene Morgan? Oh, there he's not paying attention. Gene, wave. There you go. Okay, come and pay attention. There. Sketch, open your phone. Make sure you download Sketch. I think there's a slide for Sketch. Organize your schedule. At the end of the first plenary, we will invite you to click and do an evaluation. It's going to be so easy, no papers to mess up or anything. So I have one more gratitude. The content of Ensure Justice safety nets aligns very closely with Orange County Department of Education's MTSS goals, multi-tiered system of support that reinforce whole child well-being, equity, and trauma-informed education. We meet goals on tier 1, 2, and 3 for support, for community and faith partnerships, for early identification of at-risk youth, for trauma-informed care. And today I want you to imagine a high wire artist. Remember the image on this year's flyer for ensure justice, safety nets. Imagine a kid with a cell phone walking across the high wire, and every step they take requires skill, awareness, balance, and one misstep could lead to disaster unless there's a safety net. But that net does not limit their performance. It empowers them to take risks, knowing they are protected. Now, fast forward to a young adult. Think of young people navigating the online world, social media, gaming, digital connections, incredible opportunities, but also incredible dangers, scams, predators, exploitation. Online safety measures act as a digital safety net. Parental controls, education, ethical tech policies, and community vigilance. You are important to ensure that if a young person stumbles, they don't fall. But just like the high wire artist who masters their footing and no longer needs the net, our goal, everybody in this room, our goal is to equip youth with skills, critical thinking, and resilience to navigate risk and confidently step into adulthood. I'd like to invite my partners from OCDE, Dr. Stephen Bean, and our host, President Michael Beals, to join me. I'm going to introduce them. Michael Beals has served as the 10th president of Vanguard University since 2013, leading transformative growth in enrollment, academic programs, and campus development. He is a proud Vanguard alumnus and has dedicated 30 years as professor, dean, and now president. He holds a PhD in Christian ethics and is an ordained minister with the Assemblies of God, actively engaged in higher education leadership. He also is married to my really good friend Faith Beals, wave or stand up back there, and plays a mean, upright bass, jazz. My friend and colleague, Michael Beals. And can I pass this? I pass this.
All right. Thanks. Thank you, Sandy. Isn't she marvelous? May I just say, I know it's an odd image, but I feel like I'm standing on the shoulders of giants there. It's an inverse height relationship, maybe, but not where mightiness is concerned. I've been a part of this community for a long time. I came as a freshman in 1977 to this campus, and the campus was quite a bit different, but the spirit of Vanguard was not different. At the time, I had done a year at San Diego State. I was a pre-med major, and then had a real profound religious experience, a profound experience with the Lord, and it just changed the direction of my life. And nothing has been the same since. And because I was a young man, and I knew, at the time as a young man that my life was not quite on track. I was in high school in the Berkeley Hills in the early 70s. I don't think I need to say anything more about that. But I found myself in a community of Vanguard that taught you to care about something other than yourself. Taught you that there were three postures to any meaningful relationship. Face to face, shoulder to shoulder, and back to back. In any meaningful relationship. And ensure justice is an opportunity for the community of those who come together and who are individually, but also collectively seeking to understand, combat, and eradicate human trafficking. That there are times where we have to come together face to face, where we look at one another and we're with one another and we speak to one another and we encourage one another. And we weep with those that weep, and we rejoice with those that rejoice. And we speak life and strength, and we try to hold on to people who are getting weary in the well-doing. because that's what happens in this work. I did. I taught ethics for a long, long time, and with my students, and I would adapt it to undergrad and grad environments. But I would try to communicate to my students, and when we engage this idea of the difference between a cause and a conviction. A cause is something you hold. A cause is something you take up and hold on to it as long as your passions last. But as we all know, passions wane. Passions go along to this sine wave of our human energy, of our interest, of competing imperatives, of all the different things in our lives. And when passion wanes, our grip on our causes wane, and they fade. And to the extent that human trafficking has been a cause in the hands or even in the hearts of individuals across this nation and around the world, that's part of the reason why it feels like that image in Greek mythology that you reach up for the apple and it goes away. And you lean down to drink the water, and the water flows away, and you never quite get the sustenance you need because human depravity and human fallenness manifests itself uniquely in every generation in new ways. But we don't lose hope, and we don't lose heart. Then we can see in our generation, we can see against the odds what can be done in combating and eradicating human trafficking. If we didn't believe it's possible, what are we doing here? Right? So the difference between a cause that you hold on to, what I love about being among you all, what I love about partnering with Dr. Sandy Morgan and everyone in this, is that it's a conviction. It's something that holds you. Causes are things that you hold. A conviction holds you. It drives your behavior. It gets you up in the morning when you don't feel like it. It gets you back into the work when the losses and the disappointments accumulate. You see, we come together face to face to encourage one another, to give each other strength, to learn, and then we go out and we're shoulder to shoulder. You know, the thing about shoulder to shoulder is interesting. If you're in physical proximity, shoulder to shoulder it just really works. You understand. I talk about this with my executive team, especially, and the people that I work with most closely here at Vanguard. That we spend time together, we encourage one another, we challenge one another, we talk to one another, we strategize, and then we go shoulder to shoulder, and we're not in that immediate, encouraging conversation. We're doing the work. But besides that, the reason why the agencies and organizations, whether you're in the judiciary, whether you're in social work, whether you're in university work, the reason that we need to be shoulder to shoulder is not just to do the work going forward, but to tell everyone, you've got to get through us to get who's behind us. It's about protecting who's behind us, the vulnerable and the marginalized. And then it's back to back. And one of the things that I do love about Dr. Sandy Morgan is that she's a connector, not just a networker. She's a connector. And helping people come together that say, you know what, we trust you and we can turn our back on you. It's a very interesting image. And sometimes people go, have you ever noticed that rabbits don't face each other when they eat? Have you ever noticed that? Okay. Rabbits don't face each other when they eat. Well, why not? Well, because they know their prey, all right? And so they eat kind of on this off angle so they can warn each other when the predator comes. They don't eat in this circle going, hey, how you doing? Because when the coyote comes up, they just grab one of them and off you go. Now, the image breaks down because once they start running, you don't have to be the fastest, you just have to not be the slowest where the running is concerned. That's what I mean about back-to-back. Back-to-back means we are in this work in such a way that we trust each other enough to say we're all working toward the same end. And Ensure Justice is about that. It's about receive encouragement in this time together. Form and renew partnerships of shoulder-to-shoulder work, doing effective good work and protecting those that stand behind. And let's continually, in this community, let's continually develop relationships of trust that we know when we're not together, when we're not seeing each other, we're speaking positively about each other, we're building each other up, we're seeking the best for the community of anti-human trafficking in Orange County, in California, and around the world. If you want an image of what Vanguard is like, you just heard it right there. We're putting these values into every student. We're seeking the transformation of the holistic transformation in the life of a student so that they don't graduate hollow, ready with their hands to do whatever their subject matter has led them to do, but with the fiber and the character on the inside to stand for things that matter. Standing against human trafficking matters, and I'm really grateful that you're here. Welcome to Vanguard.
And now I'd like to introduce our partner from OC Department of Education, Dr. Stephen Bean. I have been delighted to get to know him since he stepped into this role. He has been a dedicated servant to Southern California communities for 25 years as a teacher, principal, school administrator. And in June 2024, he was unanimously appointed as the 12th Superintendent of Schools for Orange County. Previously, he led Irvine International Academy and served as superintendent for Aspire Public Schools in Los Angeles. He was born in Saigon during the Vietnam War and was brought to the U.S. through Operation Baby Lift, overcoming early hardships, including polio and time in foster care. And despite these challenges, he excelled academically, earning a full scholarship to USC and later completing his doctorate at Cal State Fullerton. Is Cal State Fullerton in the house? Thank you very much. His personal experiences as an English learner, a student with a disability, have shaped his deep commitment to supporting marginalized students. By the way, did I mention that he's in high school sports? He was an umpire. Nothing held him back. He's a valuable partner now with our Global Center for Women in Justice partnership with the Department of Education, with our Safe Communities, Safe Kids outreach into middle schools and high schools. So please welcome with me Dr. Stephen Bean.
Thank you, Sandy. You got that? Okay. Well, first of all, I don't know whose bright idea it was to have me follow President Beals, honestly. And the second thing is I'm going up this ramp and I'm thinking either the ramps are getting longer or I'm getting out of shape. I like to think the ramps are getting longer, but I'm out of breath, so I probably need to work out. Anyways, good morning. My name is Dr. Stephen Bean, and I am the Orange County Superintendent of Schools. It is truly an honor to stand before you, or sit before you, actually, at the Ensure Justice Conference 2025, where our collective mission is to protect our children and youth, especially in today's digital age, right? At OCDE, we believe in education that is powerful force for change, and that every child deserves safety, both in the real world, but also online. This year's theme, Safety Nets, is more than just concept. It is a call to action. For me, this work is deeply personal. As an educator, a father of 3 beautiful daughters and 1 son, and a leader in this county, I have seen firsthand how vulnerable young people can be, especially when navigating the digital world without the right guidance and safeguards. You know, the dangers of human trafficking don't begin in dark alleys, okay? They often start with a direct message, a seemingly innocent chat, right? A connection that becomes dangerous before a child even realizes it. Look, the research speaks for itself. 1 of 3 young people form the closest friendships online, showing how deeply digitally connected they are to this. and this influences their friendships. 1 in 3 preteens believe online flirting is normal. And 1 in 5 believe dating an adult online is common. An alarming, yes, 1 of 5, an alarming reality that opens doors for exploitation. I think about my 4 kids. Good grief, the odds are one of them experienced these things. 2/3 of minors have been asked to take conversations from public forums to private chats. Can you imagine what that could lead to? Well, it makes it easier for predators to manipulate and groom them. But there's the truth. And the truth is, a child's vulnerability is never their fault. It's up to us, educators, families, community leaders, to equip them with the tools to recognize danger and to advocate for themselves. This is where our partnership matters. I want to first of all take a moment to thank President Mike Beals. I don't know if you're back somewhere. And also thank Dr. Sandy Morgan. Let's give her a round of applause. Dr. Morgan's leadership at the Global Center for Women and Justice at the Vanguard University continues to shape the way we protect and empower victims of trafficking. You know, OCD is proud to stand alongside both of these individuals that I just mentioned in this fight. I also want to recognize the Orange County Human Trafficking Task Force. Do we have many of them here? Raise your hand. Orange County Human Trafficking Task Force. Way in the back, yep. And the many other organizations here today who work tirelessly on the ground, in our schools, in law enforcement, and in advocacy to protect the most vulnerable. Your work saves lives. You know, this kind of selflessness actually reminds me of one of my first dates. On that date, I took her to the Kern River for a picnic lunch. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Kern River, but the rapids run really strong and the water is very deep. In fact, many lives have been lost there. So, we were enjoying our time together on the picnic blanket when all of a sudden in the corner of my left eye, I see my wheelchair rolling down the bank and plunging into the water. At that moment, I felt helpless, paralyzed. There was nothing I could do. Then, on the right corner of my eye, I see my date running down the bank and jumping into the river, which was up chest high. She reaches down, pulls my wheelchair out of the water, and drags it up to me. And she saw that I was so helpless, but she took action. In that moment, in my mind, I saw myself proposing to her. Well, 2 years later, I'm happy to report that I did marry her. So over the next 2 days, we are not just here to discuss the issues. We are here to take action. We will develop strategies, share insights, and most importantly, empower one another to make a lasting impact. As we move forward, let's remember, the online world is an extension of the real one. It is up to us to build safety nets that ensure every child can explore, connect, and learn without fear. So I ask this question of you. Will you join us in jumping in the river? Will you come alongside shoulder to shoulder, as President Beals mentioned? Will you come side by side to support our children? I'm going to end with this story. When I went to high school, my classroom was on the second floor. I came every morning. There was no elevator. Every morning, there were 4 students waiting for me. As they lifted me up, they took very cautious ways to navigate, balance my wheelchair. Mind you, these are high schoolers. Balance my wheelchair to get me up there. They figured it out, became more confident day after day, because they realized that they worked as a team and that they had my life in their hands, that they worked as a team to cautiously uplift me over that barrier because they came shoulder to shoulder to lift me up. So will you come shoulder to shoulder in the next 2 days and learn the tools to help come alongside of our kids and help them overcome their barriers? Thank you. I'm Dr. Stephen Bean.